So you read the books and you've done all the work to understand your trauma. Why does life still feel the same? What does your body still react like nothing has changed? Insight is not healing. And today I'm going to show you the high cost of using your mind as a safety net and how to finally move beyond it. In this video, you'll learn why overthinking your trauma is actually keeping you stuck, what's really happening in your nervous system, why talk therapy alone often hits a ceiling, and how to start releasing emotional tension through your body using the soul set system. Your mind is brilliant, but it has one job above all else, and it's to keep you safe. And one of the ways that it does that is by keeping you in analysis instead of experience. Think of it like this: your mind is like a security guard that is watching a fire through a screen. So instead of letting you actually feel the fire, right? So when you're just watching it from a screen, you can describe it, you can understand it, you can explain it even beautifully, but you're still cold. Or in this case, you're still holding on to that pain of the trauma, because trauma is not stored as a story. It is stored as sensation in the body. Let me make this real simple. You have different gears in your nervous system. When you feel safe, you feel open. You see a dog, when he feels super safe, he just kind of opens up his body, right? When you feel threatened, you feel you need to protect. So your nervous system protects. And one of those protection states is called freeze. And freeze doesn't feel like, it's not something dramatic, right? It feels like a numbness, like disconnection, like overthinking. And here's the truth: we have concluded that you understand your trauma. You're not stuck because you can't understand it. You're stuck because your body is still protecting you from feeling it. Your nervous system is currently saying that thinking is safer than feeling. And until the body feels safe enough, it won't let go. And this is especially important if you are a high performer, if you're high functioning, if you're self aware, if you are growth oriented, if you like production, right? You've learned how to process everything intellectually. You can explain patterns and wounds. You can perhaps even teach it to someone else. But when it comes to your own body, there is a gap. And that gap is not something wrong or you're not doing this good enough. It's actually the first necessary step. You need to develop a strong mind, but your body still has to catch up. You need to bring it into the process. So the work is to move from thinking to embodied release. And this is really how everything changes, because healing doesn't happen when you can understand your past. It happens when your body completes what it couldn't back then, right? You must complete what it had to suppress. And this is the foundation of the soul set system. Soul set is the process of aligning your body, your nervous system, and your awareness. So you're not just thinking about life, you're actually living it. So this is when we start to this viscerally listening. Instead of asking, why do I feel this way? We start to ask, where do I feel this in my body? Where is it? Is it in your chest? Is it in your throat? Is it in your stomach? Is it in your pelvic floor? That's where the story, wherever you feel that your body is answering, that's where the story is stored. The most important thing that we can do is to create a safety container for our bodies to feel. Your body needs structure to feel safe enough to release. So I'm going to invite you to consider that you can create your own container so that you can have a release of whatever has been repressed. And so this tells your system, okay, we can feel this and we're not going to get lost in it. I think a lot of people, when they come to me, they feel afraid of feeling because they think that they won't be able to stop feeling the actual thing that's there. A good way to set a container is to set a timer, to set whether that is 5 minutes, 1 minute, 20 minutes, or you can use a song or two songs. And this tells your system that it is safe, that we are not going to go on forever. The next thing is that you want to express before you understand. You don't need to access the exact memory in order to activate the energy that's stored in whatever part of your body you felt it. What you want to do is that you want to activate that energy. For example, you move your body, like whatever emotion you're feeling. Do you want to make a sound? Write about it while thinking about it. Paint if you feel like it. Paint what it feels like. Even exaggerate it. If it's anger, try becoming the character of like the persona of anger. If it's grief, let your body collapse and have those 5 minutes, those 2 songs in grief, just fully exaggerating the emotion, giving your body that experience of fully experiencing what it never got a chance to fulfill. You want to think about giving the emotion a body and a voice, and that's what it allows it to start to release. This is some way of working psychosomatically. As you're working in this way, allow yourself to take up psychological gestures. Psychological gestures are very powerful when you're doing this work. You create a full body expression of the emotion for that 1 or 2 minutes. For example, if you have not been able to process or tap into anger, try pushing or striking the air. If it's fear, folding, softening, hold it, right? Exaggerate it, breathe into it, let your body complete the movement it never got to finish. This is key. Something else you want to pay attention to is your pelvic floor, releasing your pelvic floor and your core. Many people are holding deep emotion and tension in the pelvic floor, and you want to start taking deep inhales and exhaling with sound, softening the lower belly, letting the body tremble if it wants to. Remember that shaking is not a problem, it's your nervous system releasing. And then stay present with what moves. When intensity rises, feel your feet, lengthen your exhale. Keep your awareness inside of your body. You are not reliving the past, you're completing it. One of the reasons why I think it's so important to focus all the way on the pelvic floor and the psoas muscles and the lower part of our breath is that as a culture, we have been so disassociated that we really have to go to the other extreme to allow ourselves to feel, to be fully alive. So it's super important that you start to pay attention to what's happening at the base of your spine, at that whole area. And then from that release, you get new levels of energy. And I want you to feel into that. What happens when you finally complete the cycle of something that was never allowed to be expressed fully, to be felt fully? That release usually leads to power, to energy. This is where your life starts to change because now you're no longer reacting from an old pattern. Remember that anything that is hysterical tends to be historical because you've never released it. Once you release that energy, you have more choice, more agency. You have newness, fresh energy in your body. You can start to respond to life from a place of presence. You move from being triggered to being aware, from being reactive to being responsive, from being overwhelmed to finally being anchored in yourself and your root. And the power in that is that you become someone that can feel without feeling like they're collapsing or without feeling overwhelmed, the one that can actually express without losing yourself. Remember that expression is the medicine to any sort of repression or oppression. And this is powerful because you start to become the one who leads your nervous system instead of someone that's just led by an old wiring of the nervous system. At some point, we have to decide to stop trying to solve our life like a puzzle, to stop trying to fix it and start living in the present moment through the body, because freedom is not something that you get to figure out. It's something you feel. If this resonates with you, I want to invite you into this work, book a soul set call with me. This is where we start to look at where you're stuck, where your body is holding, and how to start releasing it in a way that feels real, that feels safe, because this is not about more information. It's about transformation. You don't need to understand yourself more. You need to experience yourself differently, and your body already knows how. So remember that. I look forward to chatting with you. Please subscribe to this channel if you found this helpful. Thank you.